And so that was a position after so like 12:15 to 2 o'clock ish or so. And then if you go to the next capture there,
Okay.
I want to talk about now. This is basically. Oh no, go to the. Okay, that's the one. That's the one at three. There
Mhm.
was another slide. There's a second slide with that first
Oh, I'm
entry.
sorry, right here. Okay, there we go.
So this is basically just sliding over a little bit those same positions. And so what you see the minus 25, those are the short positions there, and the 425 and the 425, that's how much extrinsic is still left to get in the trade. And you see that it's evenly matched. And then if you go right next to it, that's the current bid or whatever for the positions, they're both 15 cents. So, my question would be like, hey, what would you do right now?
In this video, we're going over a day trade recap from Dr. Metals. Dr. Metals is one of the best zero DTE traders in the world, and he has a course out called the Statistical Day Trading Course. If you want to learn from him, we encourage you to take a look at that course or join the Dorian Trader, and you can learn firsthand from him and others at the Dorian Trader.
Yeah, posted in the Discord there a couple of time points, I guess you'd say, in the trade today. The first two slides are I got in today around like 12:15 or so,
Mm-hmm.
and we the market was it was negative a little bit, and then it kind of rallied up and whatnot. And being that generally speaking, the market's been a little calmer and that kind of thing, I was comfortable rolling up the put side,
Mm-hmm.
and again, for the folks on the call, making that decision when to do it. Well, the call side, while it did go a little negative, like I got filled at like only like 40 cents or something like that of credit per position on the call side,
Mm-hmm.
and it had gotten up to like 65 cents or something like that, so it got a little negative, and
Mm-hmm.
then it wind up settling back down where it was like maybe like 45 cents or something like that, and then that initial put position had decayed out where I got the 800 some bucks of a win, and so that was the decision to roll things up to that next put position, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right. And then
And
you were still good, even though it kind of reversed later. But go ahead.
yeah, yeah, and I mean, it wasn't really, really wasn't threatened that much, to be honest. A little bit of reversal. So yeah, so that was a roll up, and so that was a position after so like 12:15 to 2 o'clock ish or so. And then if you go to the next capture there,
Okay.
I want to talk about now. This is basically. Oh no, go to the. Okay, that's the one. That's the one at three. There
Mhm.
was another slide. There's a second slide with that first
Oh, I'm
entry.
sorry, right here. Okay, there we go.
So this is basically just sliding over a little bit those same positions. And so what you see the minus 25, those are the short positions there, and the 425 and the 425, that's how much extrinsic is still left to get in the trade. And you see that it's evenly matched. And then if you go right next to it, that's the current bid or whatever for the positions, they're both 15 cents. So, my question would be like, hey, what would you do right now? And certainly I'll let O'Brien take a crack at it, or if anybody want to let somebody else in the crowd take a crack at it. What would you do with this trade at this point?
I'm gonna let somebody want to see if someone else would crack. If not, I'm gonna give my opinion. Give you
Okay.
5 seconds, you guys, to jump in.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can.
Hey, this is Vipal. I'm new to your group and I'm enjoying my time here. I
Great
if
to have you.
I figured given that both sides are settled in,
Mm.
there's a chance that something major could happen. Given it's how far you are, right? You are I think at like 0.1 delta or something on both sides. I would say just let it go. I'm not worried. That was my take.
Okay.
Okay.
So anyone else?
Anybody else
Are you at a profit on both sides?
Yeah. This is the same. If O'Brien, if you click back to the other first slide there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Click right there. Yeah. The two minus 25 there. Those are my two short strikes. And that's just, and the other slide there is just showing how much is left to get on either side of them. So yeah.
Given
Yeah.
in the waiting hour, things go really fast. I mean, 99% you may be okay, but if you want to take a shot, I'd say, if you want to be cautious, take cash out, bring the register.
Okay. That's a that's never a wrong answer. It's not quite the answer I have in mind, but that's never a wrong answer.
Gotcha.
Mhm. Anybody else?
I think right now the call side is at 5:10.
Yeah, it currently is right now. This is at 2 o'clock. Yes, time. Yeah, and I captured it at that time to kind of prove a point. So, Brian, what would you say to do?
So if I wasn't trying to get, let's say 50%, and I didn't hit that 50% profit wise, if I was trying to get, let's just say 75% of this, 80%, then I would do nothing and let it play out because it's all kind of matching each other very, very closely, premium wise left in the trade. So I would just wait until I get to my profit level, and then I would exit the trade at that point.
Okay. So what I actually wound up doing, and this is something that I mentioned in the well, at this point, strikes like you mentioned, they're decayed very nicely. They're far away and everything, and it's largely balanced in terms of
Hmm.
how much there is to get on either side, and the marks are the same and everything. So you could either what you could do to guarantee that you go home profitable, you can do what we call tightening or lowering down your strikes, your stops. So instead of
Forgot
having a
about that.
three,
That's debt.
yeah, right. So instead of having, so again on the call side, the original amount was 40 cents, right? So instead of having a stop of $1.20, which again is unlikely to be hit at this time, but crazier things have happened in Power Hour, right? So instead of having $1.20 strike, if you put the strike down to 40 cents, you will you and if the market does move there, you'll give back, your profit on the one side, but you'll largely basically get that same amount on the other side, and you'll go home profitable, no matter what at this stage of the game. So that's another kind of more cautious way to play it, where it's like, yeah, if I want to ride this out for the last couple hours and see if I can't get all this, great. But if the market does move a decent amount, where I give all of it back on the one side, I should go home all the way profitable on the other side, and I'll be green at the end of the day, no matter what, because I'll get 100% on the one side, and I'll break even on the other side. So that's
Okay.
another thing you could
That's
do.
that's an excellent way to do it. Is that what you did, Dr. Mills?
That's correct.
Okay.
And that just gives you a little peace of mind if you want to stay in the trade the whole time and try to get all of this whole $850.
Okay. So you put that 40 cents kind of stop loss. You kind of changed it
Correct.
from 140, whatever it was, to 40 cents on both sides. So regardless if the market went down a lot or went up a lot, you're still going to go home with a little bit more profit.
I'm going to go home green at least. Like
Okay.
I'm going to with that dynamic. I already won the 825 on the roll up,
Mhm.
and if I can win 100% on either the put or the call side, I mean break even on whatever the opposite side is, I'm going to go home green regardless.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. And are you going to go home green at least that 875 that you have, or that 800 and something you have?
Yes. Well, and again, with the Titan stop, I'll go home with that, and I'll go home with essentially 100% of either one of these two long positions that I have on right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
So,
Perfect.
so I'll get the 850, and then the 1800, and then another 1,000 or so from either one of these. Now, the ideal thing is to get the 1,000 from both, but again, you got to stay in, the whole rest of the way to do that.
And that looks
Take
like
that risk.
that's going to be the outcome right now.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. And that can
One
change
quick,
in 45 minutes still. But go ahead.
I have a question.
And real quick, you can go ahead and show O'Brien. The next slide is what the positions are as a power hour.
Okay.
So he did the Caleb.
So
You
go
can
ahead
show that.
with your question, Siraj, I think it was.
Oh, it was Michael
Michael.
asking the question.
Sorry. Go ahead,
No, no worries. So I'm just trying to understand the opportunity cost of, okay, if you don't do anything or tighten your stops and you go wait all the way to close, then you make an extra 1,000. If
Mhm.
you get stopped out on one side, you're leaving behind how much, and then uh, and if you rank the register now, I'm just trying to understand those three options and just to understand the thinking process on what might be the best outcome.
Well, okay. Now, so this is the position 1 hour later, right?
Okay.
And you can see this is right at 3 o'clock, and
Hmm.
so you can see that the market has behaved even better. Like it hasn't moved substantially, and so now we're really close to getting, you know, the 1,000 on both sides now. But
Got
again, if I would have tightened my stops down to like 40 cents on either side, and the market would have made a significant move, what you'd be looking at is either, a zero on the put side and 1,000 plus on the call side, or vice versa, depending on how the
Gotcha.
market moves.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
That's what you'd be looking at, right? Mm-hmm.
Okay, so basically the risk is you're going to, I mean, right now, if you rank the register now, you walk away with close to 1,500, but your profit will be close to 1,000 if the market went crazy on one side.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Well, right, yeah,
Hey, Dr. Meadows, what
yes.
was the premium you got for each one of these? You said
Yeah,
something about
on the call side, it was 40 cents, and on the put side, I think it was more like 45. I think. Oh, it was 45 on the original position, and then like 40 on the roll up. Yeah, I actually matched it.
to that point. If you bring your stop loss down to 40, aren't you losing one side? If
Well, yes. Well, I'll give back. Well, see, it's down to like 10 cents or something like that, right? So if it goes to 40, I'll just give back however much, the 750 or the 800 that you see here. I will give that back, but the other side will be totally profitable at that point.
right, but this far into it, right? Or
Yeah.
the previous screen, that far into it, if you just took your profits at 15 cents for both sides, you're still
Yep.
greater.
Oh yeah, you're still good. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if you want to get the 850 bucks that was still there to get, if you wanted it all. I mean, again, it's a personal decision, like you said.
Gotcha. And you would be willing to risk it because you rolled up your put side and made some money up front anyway.
Well, and to be honest with you, yeah, that is part of the equation. The fact that I've got the 800 already kind of in the bag on the roll, that also helps. Yes, for sure. I think if I didn't have that, you'd probably be a little bit more apt to be like, hey, let's take what we've got on these remaining positions and go home with something green. Yeah.
This is somewhat like a trailing stop, you guys, that you've made some money, the market is going the way, or the position is going the way you intended it to go, but now you're trying to see if you can get more out of it. But you don't want to risk giving or not going home green or making some type of profit. So what he's doing here is changing his stop loss order to protect that he still makes money. But if that new stop loss order never gets triggered, then he's going to make even more, right? He's going to make another $850 here, because this is what was left at that time of the screenshot. So to me, this is pretty good trading. Is it wrong to take profits like he said? He said no, that's never wrong. But if you want to try to start this week off, this is a Monday, and you want to try to get as much as you possibly can out of it. This is a safer way to do it to make sure you still go home green. And so I like this kind of philosophy big time. And he talks about this in the statistical day trading course as well. And you talked about this kind of concept a little last week or the previous week. I just forgot that this was definitely, to me, the better option, because you can potentially make more. And that's where it's played out to this point. It's still some time left in the trading session. So can this change and one of these get stopped out? Absolutely. But at this point, it's been the right decision. Or if he decides just to ring the register now, then it was still the right decision, because he was able to collect a decent amount more. If we look at it, I think he was able. This is the last screen at this time. Let's say when he took that screenshot, and let's say then when he took this one. Well, this is like $225 more on this side, and this side is like $375 more. So it's a nice little win, right? Definitely a nice little win. And then you can just,
The good and the bad about Power Hour is, like, if the market stays relatively calm for, like, even like a 15-minute stretch, the stuff starts to come out pretty rapidly. The issue is that gamma. Yeah, I think somebody was talking about gamma on the call earlier today.
yes.
If we get a 12-point move or something like that, I mean, these values can change rapidly. And particularly in a low VIX environment, and
Mhm.
that's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and so this is a bigger VIX environment. So you were able to get pretty far away this morning, even coming in, not or this afternoon, coming in at 12:30. Your put side is at the 56.70, which is right now a one delta, and we are down still. But man, that's have to be a pretty dramatic move. But it does, this just has to go to 40 cents, and then you're stopped out if you're still in the trade, right? And so it's not gonna go to 40 cents if we drop really fast. Like if we drop 10 points right really fast right now, then this will jump up and maybe hit that 40 cents. Okay. And your call side is pretty far away as well. Let me see, what is that call side? That call side is the 57.55, and so that is also a 1 delta. So it looks like it was a really smart trade. You can ring the register now. If it was my trade, I would ring the register now, but that's probably one of the reasons why you're such a better trader than I am with this 0DT stuff, because you will do things like the way you're doing it now. So with that said, any other questions for Dr. Metals before we move on, you guys?
Yeah, and I just posted a quick little update here at 3:20. I'm getting out right now, but just to illustrate, just with the market settle, you can see, like, did it change much actually from 3 to 3:20?
Yeah, it
It went
did.
up a little bit.
You got
Yeah,
$100
yeah,
more on the put side. You can see it pretty decent on this screen here, right? So this was the last one that the screenshot you showed. The put side was at 750 profit. Now it's at 850. So you made another $100 there before fees and commissions.
yeah.
And then here you made another 150 on the call side before fees and commissions, as you guys can see here. So this is a pretty powerful kind of image of waiting and doing what you did. But is the risk reward worth it now with a little bit more, 38 minutes to go? For me, no. I would ring the register, and that's what you're
I'm
doing.
getting yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ring the register on the call side. I'm sorry, on the put side. The call side's at, like, I mean, the mid's at 2 cents or whatever. I you know I
Yeah,
kind of
so
tend to just
I
go
was
with
gonna say that even if the call side jumped up 10 points, this still most likely won't go to 40 cents, because
Mhm,
the call side is different. The risk is different in the put side, because the put side, people feel like, okay, wow, we just dropped 10 points real quick. This can ease, we might fall out of bed and drop 50 points. Well, so the put
mhm,
side would gain more. It would gain more kind of premium in those options if we drop too fast. The call side, people are a little less worried, and they realize, it's not a lot of time left. But for me,
mhm.
regardless, I would ring the register. But your call on and while you guys are showing right now, I'm showing the wrong strikes, by the way, and I apologize for that. He's at the 57.55, and that's why he was saying that the mid is like 2 cents. It's like 2.5 cents or something. So the only way he can get out of that anyway is he's got to buy it for 5 cents, right? So it's either 5 cents or nothing. You can't get it for 2.5.